Bishotti with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. After trading for Brandon Cooks to help out their offense, the Cowboys are bringing back a key piece of their defense now as well. Dante Fowler Jr. agreed to a one-year deal to stay in Dallas, per NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport. Fowler had 6 sacks last season. Dallas may have also found a replacement for Zeke Elliott, agreeing to a one-year deal with former Bucks and Chiefs running back Ronald Jones. Former Patriots back Damian Harris is staying in the AFC East. He signed a one-year deal with the Bills, while former Buffalo receiver Isaiah McKenzie is heading to the Colts. And expect the unexpected with the first overall pick. Longtime Panthers linebacker and current NFL Network analyst Thomas Davis says his old team could make a, quote, very, very surprising pick at 1 overall in the form of Florida quarterback Anthony Richardson. Davis says he's been told several Panthers execs are huge fans of Richardson's athletic ability. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
From local town councils to Capitol Hill, agents who are realtors are standing up for what's right. We're here protecting property rights, here advocating for the issues that affect our neighborhoods, here championing fair and equitable housing for all. Because we are realtors, bound by a code of ethics, driven to serve our communities. We're here for it all, here for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Phoenix area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
We are the Imperial Valley's AM 1230 KXOL Centro, California. In the newsroom, it's Gene Brister. Good morning, Gene.
Good morning, Carroll.
It's a Wednesday, March 22nd, 2023. So,
well, all right. I won't, argue at all. It's right on the money.
Yeah, that's because somebody wrote me a note to remind me.
Remind you to write yourself a note.
Yeah.
And write yourself a note. Something like that.
Exactly. Oh, well. Anyway, we're well through the month of March. So what can I say? Before you know it, it'll be April Fool's Day. Mm-hmm. Then it'll be Easter and all sorts of things.
Many more things to come. So stand by.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to the Easter egg hunt at Buckley Park. Gabe Lemus has already been in the park looking for eggs early. He figured he'd get a jump start on the kids.
Why not?
Yeah. Well, that's Gabe. Okay.
Yes, that is Gabe. Yes. There's only one.
Oh, thankfully.
Yes. There's only one.
How about some birthdays? Are you ready?
How about?
Okay. William Shatner is 92, and Uncle Bill is still working hard. Actor M. Emmett Walsh, 88. Singer Jeremy Clyde of Chad and Jeremy. Which one was he? He's 82. George Benson, 80. The word on his guitar. Composer Andrew Lloyd Webber, 75. Actor Fanny Ardant, 74. Bob Costas is 71. Actor Lena Olin is 68. Singer, actor Stephanie Mills, 66. Actor Matthew Modine, 64. Comedian Keegan Michael Kay is 52. Actor Will Yun Lee, 52. Actor Guillermo Diaz, 48. Actor Ann Dudek, 48. Actor Cole Hauser, 48. Actor Kelly Williams, 47. Actor Reese Witherspoon, 47. Actor Tiffany DuPont, 42. Actor Constance Wu is 41. And local birthdays, if you're ready, we've got them coming up. It's March Madness on AM 1230. 3
seconds, no timeout.
The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship.
For the win!
We've got the action. all the way through the Final Four and the championship game. March Madness on KXO AM 1230, brought to you by
Imperial Valley College stands out about El Centro and the Center for Employment Training.
We have happy birthday wishes going out today to Avelina Martinez, Bill Collins, Carolina Cortez Ramirez, Bailey Nelson, Elena Johnson, Jean Paleo, Ernie Hernandez, Gonzalo Sanchez, Jacob Adam Zambrano, Joy Flores, Kayla Benavides, Kathleen Favila, Kathy Savila, Lindsay Platero, Lottie Candelario, Maria Negrete, Rosalie Rosas, Morella Rivera, Shaylin Swank, Travis Wood, Myra Scott, Madison Whitman, Maria Guadalupe Ruiz, and Charlotte Teeters. Happy birthday from KXO. Okay, this is spring break time for a lot of folks, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and I can remember in college a lot of my friends took off for spring break. I usually had at least one, if not two, jobs, and really couldn't get away. But I do wonder, okay, how does spring break work for those who get a degree online? I mean, do they just sit back and surf the web? What? How does that work?
Something like that.
Yeah. Okay. I just curious. So we'll have to check into that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And we mentioned City of El Centro with an Easter egg hunt this Saturday at Buckley Park, and we'll tell you about some of the other events that are going around. Seems as though I think people have put COVID behind them, and events happening all over the place, right?
You bet.
Okay.
Lots of things. I mean, they just keep on coming.
Yes, and that's a good thing. We are approaching whatever used to be normal, and nobody's really sure anymore.
Very true. Very true.
Okay. We're going to jump into the news. We've got a visit with Mayor Martha Cardenas-Singh, the City of El Centro. That is coming up, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Got it right here.
Okay.
On safekeeping.
First things first, though, we're going to jump in with a look at World and California news headlines, brought to you this morning by Lock Air Conditioning and Custom Sheet Metal Lock, your year-round comfort specialist.
CBS News Brief. Another interest rate increase watch is on. The Fed expected to announce today whether they'll go up again. CBS's Jill Schlesinger.
We're likely to see a 0.25 percentage point increase, which would take the federal funds rate, the benchmark rate, to a new range of 4.75 to 5%.
Officials say at least 2 drivers were killed by falling trees when a bomb cyclone storm slammed into the Bay Area.
I kept getting these alerts on my phone of like wires down, accident, and then I walked outside and it was just like a hurricane.
Chinese President Xi Jinping's returned to Beijing after a 3-day trip to Russia and talks about the war in Ukraine. CBS's Raimi Inocencio.
China remains impartial, said Xi, on the side of peace and right side of history. China's plan could form a basis for a settlement, said Putin, but the West and Kyiv are not ready.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Become a Lock Air Conditioning VIP customer and get special pricing on cooling and heating tune-ups all year long. Call today to become a Lock Air Conditioning VIP customer at 760-93-LOCKE. That's 760-93-LOCKE. Lock VIPs receive discounted service and maintenance, discounted repairs, and priority service with prompt service. Lock Air Conditioning is your local York dealer, but they repair it all. So when the need arises, don't hesitate to call Lock Air Conditioning at 760-93-LOCKE. That's 760-93-LOCKE. Lock, the only name in air conditioning for over 40 years. York, install with confidence. Contractor's license number 696216.
California headline news. The stormy conditions easing a bit today in many parts of the state, but some areas like the San Bernardino mountain communities are dealing with more snow and wet conditions. The sheriff's office lifting evacuation warnings for several communities, though residents who live near burn scars are still vulnerable.
There's no warning. Like a wildfire, you can actually see it coming. we can't see this coming, unfortunately.
Kxo with CAL FIRE. Main concern in the lower elevations remains flooding and mudslides. Snow may actually be helpful because it'll slow the impact of immediate flooding from the rain. School staffers in the LA Unified School District remain off the job today, demanding better pay and working conditions.
After nearly a year of bargaining, LAUSD has refused to offer wages that raise workers above the poverty line.
Max Arias with Service Employees International, superintendent accusing the union of refusing to negotiate. State lawmakers vote today on a proposal that could potentially give penalties to oil companies that drastically increase gas prices. Jeff Scott, California News.
World in California News headlines brought to you this morning by Lock Air Conditioning and Custom Sheet Metal. For repair, for replacement, for maintenance, you call the experts. Lock Air Conditioning and Custom Sheet Metal.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681.
And it's page one of the local news, a service of El Centro Motors, Quick Lane Tire and Auto Centers, 3 locations of the Valley to serve you at El Centro Motors, at the Imperial Valley Mall, and at the Brawley Auto Center, Highway 86 and Julia Drive.
Taking a look at the latest in local news this morning, the El Centro Mayor, Martha Cardenas-Singh, has a visit. Here's more on that story.
Hello. I'm Martha Cardenas-Singh. I'm the mayor for the city of El Centro, and I'd like to take this opportunity to give you a mayor's brief update. Just to share with you, last night at our city council meeting, we had the opportunity to hire our library director. Her name is Carla Mason. Carla Mason comes to the Imperial Valley with a tremendous amount of leadership experience. She previously worked for the Seattle Public Library, Kern County Public Library, and the Santa Clarita Public Library. She's a seasoned library administrator, and Carla specializes in developing programs and partnerships that align with our community needs and goals. So we're excited to see the great work that Carla is going to be providing here at our El Centro Library. Just a quick reminder to our community, remember this Saturday, March the 25th, we will be having our Easter egg hunt and movie night at Buckley Park from 5 to 9 p.m. There'll be a great opportunity to enjoy family fun, delicious food, and just a great time to come together as a community. Also, we're looking forward to making sure that we have amazing summer programs. And starting with our amazing summer programs is the opportunity to hire summer coaches and summer camp leaders. The city of El Centro is going to have a job fair March the 29th at Conrad Harrison Youth Center, which will be an opportunity to hire for our summer program. So if you are 16 years and older and are interested in a summer job working with youth, we encourage you to join our job fair. In addition to that, we are really wanting to work with our merchants in the downtown area. So with that, the city of El Centro is going to have a downtown merchant meeting, town hall meeting, in which we can hear concerns, updates, and feedback from our downtown merchants. That's going to take place April the 20th at 9 a.m. at the Old Post Office Pavilion. So just again, taking this opportunity to thank you for listening to the mayor's update. And like always, wishing you a great week. Thank you.
A Mexicali man pleaded guilty to charges stemming from the March 2nd, 2021 crash that took the lives of 13 people. Jose Cruz Noquez admitted that he and co-conspirators worked to smuggle a large number of undocumented migrants into the United States by loading them into modified SUVs. One of those vehicles, a Ford Expedition, collided with a tractor-trailer rig on State Route 115 near Hopeville, claiming the lives of 13 individuals. Cruz Noquez admitted that he and his co-conspirator were smuggling the undocumented migrants into the United States for financial consideration and with the intent to violate the immigration laws of the U.S. A second suspect in the smuggling attempt has been charged but remains a fugitive. Cruz Noquez will be sentenced on June the 9th of this year before U.S. District Judge Kathy Ann Bensfevko. That concludes this edition of Local News. Page 2 coming up.
How about the next time you need service on your car? We come to you. Hi, this is Mike Allison for Centro Motors and Quick Lane. Our mobile service vans are an extension of our dealership service lane. We will come to you for an oil change, filters, brakes, batteries, tire rotation, and so much more. Hey, while your car is just sitting there at work, we'll take care of your service needs, and it doesn't cost any extra. Schedule your appointment now at elcentromotors.net. El Centro Motors Mobile Service Vans. What a great idea.
COVID numbers continue to bounce around. George Gale explains.
Last week, the numbers were down. This week, they are back up. Updated numbers that were released yesterday morning, and numbers are provided by the County Public Health Department. According to the new numbers, there are currently 297 active cases of COVID-19 in Imperial County. That is up from 272 cases reported last Thursday. Fatalities attributed to the virus have remained at 975. State COVID-19 tier metrics for Imperial County have remained fairly even at 11.80 new cases per day per 100,000 population, with a positivity rate of 13%. For Kxo Local News, I'm George Gale.
And that concludes this edition of Local News, but don't go away. Page 2 coming up.
Page 1 of the local news, a service of Quick Lane Tire and Auto Centers with 3 locations in the valley to serve you. Quick Lane, they service all makes and all models, and you never need an appointment.
Attention pilots. Imperial Valley Flight Training will be conducting an 8-week ground training regimen conducted by certified flying instructor Wally Hale in preparation for the FAA knowledge test. The course begins April 4th with 2 meetings per week and is open to student pilots, all aviation enthusiasts, and rusty pilots looking for a refresher on navigation, weather, performance, and more. Cost is $495 due on registration. Includes all study materials and instruction. Registration deadline is April 4th. For more information, call Wally Hale, 760-427-8771.
Page 2 of the local news, served by K Sushi Bar and Grill in Imperial. Great Japanese food, specializing in sushi rolls. 50 different varieties of sushi rolls, one for every state. I'll bet soon there'll be one for Shohei Ohtani as well.
Continuing with more local news this morning, the Imperial County Office of Education will hold an annual regional spelling bee. Here's more in that story.
It is their 18th annual regional Imperial County spelling bee. It'll be held Thursday, March 23rd. That's tomorrow, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Jimmy Cannon Theater, Southwest High School, 2001 Ocotillo Drive in El Centro. The event will be live streamed on YouTube. Students must check in at 5:20 p.m. If you need more information, contact Elisa Carmona at ICOE. For KXO Local News, I'm George Gale.
Well, scams are still around. An El Centro man is out $2,000 after falling victim to a scam. The man told El Centro police that he purchased $2,000 worth of gift cards after being told to do so by someone purporting to represent an Apple customer care website. The gift cards were to cover alleged payments to the website. President Joe Biden has nominated Tara McGrath to serve as United States Attorney for the Southern District of California. McGrath previously served as an assistant U.S. attorney in the San Diego office. She most recently served as a civilian litigation attorney advisor for the U.S. Marine Corps Pacific region from 2019 to 2022. Miss McGrath graduated from Boston College with a BA degree and received her Juris Doctorate from the University of Michigan. The nomination is subject to Senate confirmation. The Southern District of California includes San Diego and Imperial counties. A family literacy program is coming up. Here's more on that story.
It will be held Friday at 3 p.m. Public is invited to the Imperial Public Library Family Literacy Program, featuring crafts and playtime in the community room at the library. The program is provided by the California Literacy Services Grant. The library is located at 200 West 9th Street in the Imperial. For KXO Local News, I'm George Gale.
And we'll be back with a look at the weather.
Kxo Sushi Bar and Grill, serving you fresh and delicious Japanese food. Also giving you great customer service and a menu full of items for everyone's appetite. Check out their unique Estates sushi rolls, one for each of our 50 states. And come join them with their famous sake bomb, a thrilling event with James Chingan. Make a group reservation at their cozy patio or cater at Kxo Sushi Bar and Grill, 416 South J Street in Imperial. Or call in your order at 760-355-4440. Visit them at KSushiBarandGrill.com.
Here's a weather update with Carol Buckley.
According to the National Weather Service, clearing skies with drier weather conditions will settle into the region through this weekend, though temperatures will continue to remain well below normal during this period. Yesterday's high, 66, the overnight low, 54. Wind gusts peaked at 41 miles an hour. We had 0.14 of an inch of rain over the past 24 hours. Today will be sunny with a high near 71, west wind 15 to 20 miles an hour, gusting up to 30 miles an hour. Tonight mostly clear with a low around 49, west wind 10 to 20 miles an hour, gusting up to 30 miles an hour. Those winds become north later in the evening. Thursday will be sunny with a high near 71, west-northwest wind 10 to 15 miles an hour, gusting up to 25 miles an hour. Those winds tomorrow will turn out of the south later in the day. 56 degrees at 10, 47% relative humidity. Wind out of the west-northwest at 10, gusting up to 30 miles an hour. Local news, page 2, served by Kxo Sushi Bar and Grill in Imperial. The dinner menu features 16 different entrees. Kxo Sushi Bar and Grill, just off Highway 86 in Imperial. Have you visited the Peanut Patch in Yuma? Why not? Go ahead. Visit the Peanut Patch in Yuma. You're going to find so many great things available for you. The Peanut Patch, open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. You will find homemade chocolates, all sorts of varieties, made from scratch just for you. The Peanut Patch. You want to get there? Well, Google thepeanutpatch.com. You'll get directions. And, by the way, the Peanut Patch does offer tours on Tuesdays and Fridays. Go ahead, tour the Peanut Patch. You're going to love it. Don't forget, Easter is just around the corner, and you will love the variety of candies, chocolates, and goodies at the Peanut Patch, perfect for an Easter basket. It's the Peanut Patch in Yuma. Donna and Pat say, come on by the Peanut Patch in Yuma. It's sports time, brought to you by Pioneers Memorial Healthcare District, an affiliate of the Scripps Health Network, working together to provide you the best care. Shohei Ohtani struck out Mike Trout for the final out as Japan victorious in the World Baseball Classic. And, Trout and Ohtani, teammates with the Los Angeles Angels. Let's see if they move their lockers together. Okay, so you want a good seat to the New York Mets game? Yeah, 25,000 for a top seat. The Mets announced they will open a membership-only speakeasy behind Citi Field's right field fence. The Cadillac Club at Payson's, membership is $24,999 per seat. Well, it does include drinks and snacks. What the heck?
Pioneers Memorial Healthcare District, ready to serve you and your family for all your healthcare needs. Let our team of dedicated physicians guide you on your journey to better health. Pioneers is a recognized leader in healthcare and has more than 10 health centers and clinics throughout the Imperial Valley. When the need arises, don't hesitate to come and see us. We have services and locations in Calexico and Brawley, and of course, our award-winning hospital, Pioneers Memorial. For more information on all of Pioneer's services, visit pmhd.org today.
And NBA action, Magic beat up on the Wizards, 122-112. It was the Hawks hammering the Pistons, 129-107. Cavaliers clobbered the Nets, 115-109. Pelicans beat up on the Spurs, 119-84. Celtics beat up the Kings, 132-109. And the Thunder, they tripped by the Clippers, 101-100. Well, it's the second annual Southwest High School Junior Track Meet, ages 5 through 14. It's coming up at Southwest High School this Saturday. And you can come in at 7 a.m. First events start at 8 a.m. So what events do you want to run? 50 meters, 100 meters, 200 meters, 400 meters, 800 meters? Want to get into the long jump or the softball throw? Yeah, give it a shot. And it's a groundbreaking ceremony today for the athletics concessions and restrooms. And that's at IVC at 2:30 this afternoon. It'll be followed by a softball game. And guess what? That softball game on the IVC softball field. And that's it for Sports Time, brought to you by Pioneers Memorial Healthcare District. Log on to pmhd.org for more information about Pioneers. Thank you for choosing Imperial Printers Rocket Copy. In today's highly competitive business climate, your company's image is important. The printed materials your company uses conveys a major part of that image. Our graphic designers have the talent and expertise to create a lasting impression for your business. Imperial Printers Rocket Copy offers virtually any type of business solution to meet your needs, from business cards and stationery to computer forms, full-color brochures, and posters. Let our excellent service and attention to detail provide the best impression for you. Locally owned and operated, Imperial Printers Rocket Copy has locations near you at 430 West Main Street and 100 South 11th Street in El Centro and 184 South Plaza in Brawley. And it's a look at financial news and weather, brought to you by Southwest Security, a locally owned company protecting you and your property, also offering 24-hour-a-day post office boxes at Southwest Postal, 4th and Heil, El Centro. TikTok CEO Kxo Chu plans to tell U.S. lawmakers that the app's parent company, ByteDance, does not work for the Chinese government as he seeks to avert a U.S. ban and reassure policymakers TikTok poses no national security threat. Yeah, right. The remarks, which includes broad promises to protect U.S. user data, to keep teens safe, and to remain free from any government influence, mark the company's most visible attempt yet to shake off concerns about the potential for foreign spying that have spooked governments worldwide. Yeah, we're the Chinese government. You can trust us. Yeah, and what's going on in the UK? Inflation soaring to 10.4%. Yeah, food inflation hit its highest level in more than 45 years as the cost of visiting restaurants and hotels increased as well. Food prices jumped 18.2% through the year to February, the sharpest rise since the late 1970s. The Office for National Statistics noted particular increases for some salad and vegetable items, partly caused by shortages, which led to rationing by supermarkets. The latest figures could make it more likely that the Bank of England hikes interest rates again when it meets tomorrow. Wall Street looking green. The Dow up 3.7 points. The S&P 500 up 5. The NASDAQ up 20. Gold up 11.20 an ounce. Oil up 34 cents a barrel.
Hi, this is Jason Jackson, owner of Southwest Security. 2 years ago, I opened Southwest Postal, offering you 24-hour access 365 days a year. So if you're tired of dealing with the inconvenience of our post office hours and you would like to be able to get your mail when you want, Saturdays, Sundays, holidays, in the middle of the night, then come visit us at Southwest Postal with 24-hour staff. Plus, we're also your local FedEx, DHL, and Postal Service Center. We even offer text message and email notification when you receive your mail. Southwest Postal at the corner of 4th and Howell in El Centro.
We'll have sunny skies today with a high near 71. West wind 15 to 20 miles an hour, gusting up to 30 miles an hour. Tonight, mostly clear, a low around 49. West wind 10 to 20 miles an hour, gusting up to 30 miles an hour. Those winds become north later in the evening. Thursday, sunny with a high near 71. West-northwest wind 10 to 15 miles an hour, gusting up to 25 miles an hour. Those winds turning out of the south later in the morning. 57 degrees, 49% relative humidity. Wind out of the west-northwest at 5 to 15, gusting up to 30 miles an hour. Financial news and the weather brought to you by Southwest Security Services. They offer live scan fingerprinting to the public. Don't forget, we've got March Madness continuing tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sweet 16 games followed by the Elite 8. We've got all the action right here on AM 1230 KXO. We have CBS News just ahead.
The best oldies on the radio. KXO El Centro on AM 1230 KXO.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. Could this be the day former President Trump is indicted? CBS's Robert Costa in New York reports it's not clear what the grand jury investigating the Stormy Daniels hush money case will do later on today.
Sources tell CBS News that the Secret Service, FBI, and NYPD are working together to plan for possible disruptions in the tunnels and in the streets here in New York from protesters. And in Washington, D.C., the Homeland Security Department there has issued a bulletin saying some extremists see a Trump arrest, a potential one, as a line in the sand.
And we'll hear from Federal Reserve policymakers in a few hours on interest rates. CBS's Jill Schlesinger tells us along with inflation, they'll consider what's happened recently in banking.
It seemed that Fed Reserve Chair Jerome Powell was lining up for a larger rate increase of 0.5 percentage point. Now, with the pressures in the financial system, both in the U.S. and in Europe, the Fed is more likely to raise rates by 0.25 percentage point. That would match what they had done at the previous meeting.
The latest storm system to batter California is blamed for at least 2 deaths. Those people were hit by falling trees. This man says in the San Francisco area, it was fierce.
The windows on our 28th floor were literally shaking. And when we were looking outside the window, we could see waves crashing on the pier.
The storm has caused some flooding and power outages. A Senate committee is not going to vote today as planned on Phil Washington. It's President Biden's pick to head up the FAA. Texas Republican Ted Cruz has been an outspoken critic.
Mr. Washington is not qualified for the position for which he is nominated. Mr. Washington has never flown a plane. One member of this committee commented to me, "Nice man, not qualified."
Overseas in the UK, new testimony in the scandal called Partygate.
Boris Johnson once again insisting he didn't deliberately lie when he repeatedly asserted in Parliament that there were no lockdown-busting parties on his watch.
When those statements were made, they were made in good faith and on the basis of what I honestly knew and believed at the time.
If his fellow lawmakers decide he knowingly misled them, that would effectively end Boris Johnson's political career. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
Well, CBS's Jen Clark has more on a new scam that surfaced on Twitter.
Scammers are now posing as banks, replying to tweeted complaints with fake customer service numbers. When you call the number, they collect your bank information and clean out your accounts. And now that users can buy a blue check mark for $8, it's even harder to figure out which accounts are legitimate.
And checking Wall Street right now, the Dow is up 1 point, the Nasdaq is ahead 13 points, and the S&P is a bit higher. This is CBS News.
Nobody should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance coverage. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance so you only pay for what you need. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
What do you mean he went searching for fresher powder? We have full classes today.
Instructor down at Vesper Ski School.
Toward each other to snowplow, honey, not away.
She needs more ski instructors to slalom through the day-to-day.
Pizza, fries. Whoa, really? No, pizza.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
O'Reilly. Count on the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to recommend the best products for your vehicle and budget. Get maximum cooling system performance for 10 years or 300,000 miles with peak long life universal premixed antifreeze and coolant. Now just $6.99 after mail-in rebate. Limits apply. See store for details. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
A UN water conference is taking place amid some ominous signs, as we hear from CBS's Cammie McCormick.
It's a problem that's growing worse.
10% of the global population currently lives in areas that are high or critical water stress.
The UN's Richard Connor says many don't have access to safe drinking water or even basic sanitation. The report shows as cities continue to grow, governments must do more to invest in ways to secure clean water. Water usage has been increasing globally by about 1% per year over the last 40 years.
In a broadcast interview, French President Macron says the pension bill that he pushed through without a vote in Parliament needs to be implemented by the end of the year. He's sticking to his decision to raise the retirement age from 62 to 64 in France, despite mass protests and violence in the streets. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-330-1991. That's 1-800-330-1991. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-330-1991. SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
And now, more of the best oldies on the radio.
Hey, this is fun, isn't it?
With Carroll Buckley.
Good God. Is this some kind of joke? Ha ha, that's funny. 12:30.